Hello everyone and welcome back to, well, Winter Wonderland. We're in our first winter and the situation is a little bit dire. We're very low on food, as you will see. Actually, I can probably just turn this on. We're down to 1 month's worth of food and we're still in December, meaning we have a long way to go before we can actually make things happen. Boy, we'll figure it out, right? I'm sure we'll figure it out. Okay. Other than that, we're overall, I want to say, in a pretty good situation. First thing that we need to directly address is building more houses. For that, we actually need just a ton more logs. We do have a lot of unemployed families, so let me send someone else into the logging camp. And this area right here will actually be a perfect spot for us to add 4 more houses with backyard extensions. These backyard extensions will be incredibly useful. Oh, hold on. I thought all of them could have a backyard extension. And I would want that to happen if possible. Here we go. These backyard extensions, super useful because we can put a few more animals in there. And that will help us ultimately feed our colony. At the same time, I don't quite know if we're actually gonna make that in time before people start to starve. Which hurts to say, but is just unfortunately what it is. So in preparation, I think it is okay for us to already place down a corpse pit. Yeah, that sounds very bad, but I think it's just what it needs to be. And I'll place it in this little forest here. We'll keep this forest for our lumber industry in the future as well. So having it here as kind of like a forest cemetery makes for me at least, a ton of sense. So we'll already place you there and our settlers can get to it, well, whenever they can get to it. Okay. Next thing that we should also be thinking about, since it is still December, is for the next year, farming. Because we will just need a ton more food. So if we're going into the farming area, actually just look at the fertility. There's a bit of emmer fertility right here. I'm actually surprised there's fertility here. Ooh, that neighboring province actually looks pretty nice as a breadbasket of the region. Might be expanding in here at some point. Right. Bottom line though, we do have a emmer fertility here, which is quite nice to see. And then when we look at rye, it's also in this corner right there. And this is not too far from our village. And it's close to the trading post. I think I like the idea overall of placing a few farmlands into this area right there. So if we're gonna place fields, they do recommend 1 Morgan. I think we're gonna make them smaller than 1 because I'd rather have multiple and they get fully through, well, making it happen, rather than having 1 Morgan and they never will be able to wrap it up and finish it. Okay, farming. In order, I like the black screen, perfect. In order to begin farming, you'll need both field and farmhouse. I know. And then crop rotation or leaving the field fallow for a year to help recover. I know as well. Crop rotation was probably one of the best inventions, so to speak, in the history of farming. Because, yeah, that increases the amount of production that you can get by an insane amount. All right. So the last one, we're actually gonna make a little bit more, shouldn't call it asymmetric, but kind of asymmetric. We're gonna try to maximize the amount of fertility back here. That looks pretty good. And then we're adding another one just in front of it. And that one will actually be mostly rye. All right. So 5 of these farmlands or farming plots sound good to me. And maybe we'll actually put our farmhouse over on this side. So they are kind of close by. So let's go ahead and place this in here. Yeah, we are going to lose a little bit of the fertile land, but I like the idea that they have a straight shot into the city center. In addition, because it's farmland as well, we're going to go ahead and build another hitching post, because they will be able to utilize the oxen to plow the fields. And just next to our trader makes also a ton of sense. We'll start with the hitching post, setting that up to the highest priority, and then they can slowly get into the farmland. Now, when it comes to placing this down, pollination, oh, interesting. We're going to start with wheat, 68%, maybe not the best, but it's okay. Then rye in the second year. Here we're going to actually do rye in the first year, and then wheat in the second year. And we're going to flip this back and forth the entire time. Although, having said that, you are, I guess 67% is not too bad. Let's actually set you to rye in the first year and wheat in the third year. And we're going to do wheat in the first year and rye in the third. All right. So these three will not produce anything in the third year. These two will not produce anything in the second year. Now I do think I want another one. Where is it? Farming. Here we go. If we're looking again at the fertility, rye fertility is still pretty high over here. So we can actually just add another one of these farm areas just behind, actually, our little farm, just like that. 0.4, that sounds good. And then we're gonna set you to do rye, no, not flax, rye in the first year, and then wheat in the third. All right, so that should give us a good amount of grain. With the grain coming in, oh, actually, hold on. I completely forgot to disband the unit. I think that's what we're gonna do, right? Give ground, hold. Yeah. Okay, they don't disappear. Disband the unit, here we go. Good. So this is coming along, which I'm very excited about. How are you doing? You have 60 stones available. Why didn't anyone bring them actually over? Huh. No clue. Right. So far, no farmhouse. We need the farmhouse. That makes sense. Hitching post has been built. That's this one. We could immediately upgrade it. You know what? We have the material, so let's immediately upgrade it. Because I think having the horse here, whenever we can finally buy it, and then an oxen for the farm will actually make a ton of sense. Okay, so that is overall good. Now we do need to build a mill, but we don't need to build it right away. I think this will be a good starting point. We should also consider placing down more houses for vegetable farms. And we could place them close to the farmhouse, like in this area right there. But I also kind of like the idea of filling up this corner with more farmhouses. Like, it's like, who are they? But that's just, it's just the whole militia. So if we were to place it here, for example, we're putting a path through here just to split it up a bit more. And we're adding another path through here, again, to split it up a little bit more. What we can also do is split that up as well. Don't think we need to. So yeah, we'll see. All right, farmhouse is actually in. We're upgrading it with a plowing station for sure. And then let's go back over here because I want to look at how much it would be. How much we can maximize also the amount of housing space or housing to farm space. Let's see, we can go all the way to here. Wow, look at that. That's not too bad. Can we make that a bit smaller? Like the amount of space the house is actually using. What is... Okay, one house over there, and then... Was that smaller now? What if we go in this direction? Oh, that would actually be 2 families. Oh, I kind of like the idea of having 2 families deal with all of this. Something was finished building. I think this is the biggest space we could possibly get. So let's build this. Well, and then we'll have 2 families in here at some point, which will absolutely help us with our food production. Okay, everything is just built. Nobody has died yet. We're still in January though. It'll be tight. It'll be very tight. All right, I kind of want to buy an ox. However, I also want to open up that trading route for the roof tiles, because that will just ultimately help us so much raking in money. I mean, think of it like this. There's 13 roof tiles right here. That's 52 gold compared to whatever. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Close. Compared to the $1 basically we're getting here. At some point we'll also upgrade to a deep mine, but don't need to do that anytime soon. So let's see. In addition, orchard. Okay, not too bad. But I think we're gonna... Trees take approximately 2 to 4 years to fully mature, so that's a no-go. But so does the planting cost. I guess that's fine. We are gonna put a vegetable garden in there. They can absolutely build this already. And what we're also gonna... Okay, can't set it yet, but we're definitely gonna put the second house in there. Now we're completely out of food. And we have 0 food income except for these 2 animal enclosures. Which is a bit iffy at best. Alright. There's only 19 fish in here. The berries will also take a while to fully grow. Whew. Like I said, it'll be a rough winter. But we are kind of doing better than I expected. Right. Log industry is still doing really well. The woodcutter over here as well. We will need some tools sometime soon. But again, I want to make sure we are actually getting the money that we need to open up the roof tile trade, because this will be just so beneficial for us. All right, I'm going to fast forward. Don't know what that was. Maybe that was just them bringing in more chicken? I don't know. Oh, hold on. Did we have actually any frigates moving in? No, we haven't. Good. So I think, because that's something we need to keep in mind as well. As soon as there's another bandit camp, we're gonna mobilize everyone and then send them out to fight them. Because we just need to be on top of this as fast as possible. Let me actually double check that we are really selling. Yep, we're selling all the clay. I guess you are bringing some clay. Transporting clay. 5. What I might actually do temporarily is pause this. So we produce more clay, and then we can sell all of that. Because like I said before, we need to get the money in as quickly as possible. Right, people have moved in here. We need... Whew, holy cow, 140 gold to put vegetable farm in there. Yeah, we will definitely work that. But it'll be a while before we get there. Bandit camp was sighted. Quick pause. It is, I guess, not too far away. So let's make sure we're rallying everyone. Yeah, you can just rally in that forest. Because I'm hoping we can also feed some more money into our region, into our settlement. And that we just really need. Come on, let me select them. Here we go. All right, bandit camp is in these forests. So I'm going to have my people line up here. Let's make sure our spearmen. You guys are too fast for me. Here we go. Okay, they still have shield walled on. I like it. Let's move you guys a bit faster. Mercenary company available. Okay, new message. Band of raiders. Yeah, definitely track their movement. Another army was sighted. Yeah, they're also going straight for that bandit camp. It's kind of what I expected. So we're gonna place ourselves at the border of this forest. I wish I could see where I actually sent them. Alright. The enemy is coming from up here. Well, it's not really the enemy. It's our neighbor. Trying to protect his stuff. Where are actually the bandit soldiers? They're not here. Means they must already be on the move, no? Oh, there they are actually. Alright. Let's move you guys back. You guys up here. Fast forward this a little bit. Enemy unit has been spotted. It kind of makes sense. Can you? There we go. Alright. I still haven't lost a unit. Very nice. Quick pause. Because I want to make sure we're actually grabbing this bandit camp with our personal guard. Too fatigued to run. Bummer. I was hoping we could send them running. And our actual main spear force gets to head back to then disband as quickly as possible. Where is the enemy army? I don't see them. Maybe they were sent back. Alright, and I can send them running. Good. Now they don't need to keep their stamina up if the fight is already over. So this way we're getting there a little bit quicker. And again, I don't want our friend to take away our stuff. Alright, we're gonna send the resources to town again. And then send our personal guard back into our region as well to, again, disband as quickly as possible. 150 gold. No, we're opening up the trade route with the roof tiles. Establish. And then we're gonna export this for now until we have roof tiles, not 50, 5. Let's keep 5 in stock for no particular reason. And we can turn this back on. 2 families can go in straight away. And that should help ultimately with our entire industry. The lake is also not frozen anymore. You can fish until down to 15. I will actually let you fish down to 10. Now I'm really hoping that this will still allow... Oh, and we have berries. Perfect. Let's send 2 families up here. With fishing down to 10, I'm hoping we'll be able to get at least our families across before people die. Hold on. Any other bandit camps? No, nothing. Good. Alright, disband our personal unit as well. And then we have all of our people back into business. Now I also need to set this up. And we should really add an oxen. And now we don't have the money for the horse. All right, let's remove some people from both of these and add them into the farm, because once they are done farming, we can always go back and assign them to other things. Definitely not as many lumber people. 2 more families here. 106 gold. Look at that. Which will immediately allow us to add the vegetable garden here. Seeds purchased. Looking good. We're also adding the additional family extension here. So, because we also just need more families. And then I'm already planning for the next farmhouse extension over here. Perfect. Once we have a bit more gold, we can plant beets or something there. All right. Livestock order is placed. Good. I will also raise the taxes again. There's a lot of back and forth here. But I think overall it is looking good. Livestock. Permanent livestock assigned, 1. This way, once we have 1 livestock assigned, they should be much faster in planting or placing all those fields. And again, that will just be very useful for us. Let's actually add another field on top of this, just in case they can get to it. And I think on this side, I saw correctly, yep, we actually have good barley fertility, half a morgan. Let's do that. And we're just gonna say, wait, did I just say barley? I meant rye. Rye, 2nd year, wheat. Actually, let's do it the other way around. Wheat, 2nd year, rye. Hello? New mercenary company available. Okay. So the reason why I want to increase our personal funded funds, so to speak, is the... Wait, work area is empty? It's not. I could also add some herb garden. Doesn't add any food right now, so let's leave it at that. All right. Reason why I want to increase this is because the raiders are coming, and I'm thinking we won't be able to tackle them unless we hire some of these. Whew. Would be nice to have them. Not gonna happen. But actually, even just those would be okay. So we just need to keep an eye on increasing our personal treasury. Okay, you're full, that's fine. Not enough food. Are you? You are already maxed out, or like minned out, I guess. I'm gonna set this back to 100. Because I do want our fish to reservoirs here to go back up. Alright, this burgage plot is in. Now let's add another vegetable garden, like I said. And then we're also going to add the additional houses that we had talked about before. Let's see how many we can get in if we place it like that. 4. Come on. There. 4 of them. I will take that. Because this way we can also add more of these livestock plots in the bag, which definitely will be useful for us. All right. Families have not died yet. That is good. Let's have a look, actually. Since this is now finished, we could actually plant beets. Oh, we can even plant more carrots. 10 weeks to grow, 14 weeks to grow. Now let's put a bit of variety in there. How much is the cabbage? 134. Wow. Definitely gonna add the other house, so we can start with that. And maybe we'll start with these. Put an animal pen in here. And then we can actually add the what's it called? The goats in there, which I think will be overall very beneficial. I also need to buy tools now. So let me actually slow this down for a second. Tools, we need to open this trade route. All the wealth goes there. All right, but it kind of worked. Import until we have, let's do maybe 5. And that will cost us a ton. Oh, all of these are actually planted. Nice. Let's remove, technically we could remove all of them. I'll leave 2 in there because I will absolutely forget to deal with that. And we're gonna increase our productivity for our trades. So that means adding 4 families in here, yep. And maxing this out as well. Still having another gander around. Overall not too bad. How much influence do we actually have? We almost have 1,000 influence, so we could consider annexing another region. But I don't quite know if we need to really do that. Right. Burgage plot is finished. That's not you. So it must have been you over there. Now we could also consider at some point putting in honey. I guess the first thing that we really want to make sure is that we have the money for the goats. We could actually and should actually leave some of this open because this is on level 2, I think, and this is level 3. The bakery is far off. But a butcher here would actually be really nice. We add the butcher and actually plan to move on to livestock. Sheep farm. Pasture, sheep farm. No, it would be the pasture first. And then for that, we would also need a animal trading post. Pack station, livestock trading post. That is it. All right. Future worries. For now, let's actually go ahead and plan this a little bit further out. We're going to add our windmill right there. Right next to our farm. They can already build this, so we're ready to produce the flour whenever it comes in. And then we do need to place a communal oven, which we might actually just place right next to it. This is a straight shot to the market here and to the granary. So we can actually just place it at the end of this road. But why not put it just to one side? All right. Efficiency is up. Whatever that means. Okay, how is food coming from over there? Still 6 berries left. Let's add 1 more family in there. And then it is already June. How is it already June? I feel like it was just winter. Alright, 250 more days. 37, that's overall pretty good. I'm hoping that one of the brigands is still showing up, and then one of them will actually feed into our personal covers. Because, yeah, then again, we're in a much better situation that will allow us to fend off the raiders. Because, yeah, we just need some archers. I think our shield wall is overall pretty good, but having archers on one side, or on either side, basically, to attack, Sounds actually pretty darn good. Okay, treasury registered, cool. New company available, I guess that's also alright. And yep, we now have also 5 available houses. 45% happiness, that's not bad. Food variety is also up, I like that. What is, yeah, general food is just way too low. You at least got some vegetables. Meat, fish, that's where we're still lacking. But yeah, no money yet to actually buy the goats. Alright, windmill is at least finished. Wait, because we're buying tools. Let me pause you. We have 0 currently left. Alright, let me pause you to no trade. You have your tool, no? Oh, no, you don't. Okay. And we do need logs, so unfortunately, we are gonna import more tools. Right, let me double check. Yeah, until we have 5. So it will be a little while before we can do anything properly. But look at that. Vegetable garden is coming in. I wonder if this is considered technically part of the field. But it's not really. Huh. Anyways. Do we, yeah, we do have families in here. Stuff is still growing. 26 days left. Predicted harvest is 10. I don't know what this is supposed to tell me. Crop growth, 35%. Okay. Affinity pollination plus 1.3. Goods produced, nothing. All right. All of that kind of makes sense. So in that case, it would be kind of nice to actually put... Oh, we do have some gold. Wait, what did I want to spend? Oh, I wanted to spend the gold on the goats. Yes, give me some goats. All right. So as I was saying, it could actually be really nice to have an apiary here. Because it will improve our farmland productivity and it provides honey and wax. Oh, pause. As soon as they spawn, our friends up here are already on the move. So let's go ahead. We are in a better position than they are. I'll make sure we're sending our troops right here. And before the next battle starts, I'm going to call this an episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.